And the derivative of g of x equals 3x plus the square root of 2x squared plus 4, the entire quantity raised to the fourth power. Then evaluate g prime of 0. G of x here is made up of an entire expression, 3x plus the square root of 2x squared plus 4, all of it raised to the fourth power. Since we have a root involved, let's rewrite that as a fractional exponent. So we will have 3x plus 2x squared plus 4 to the first power, but second or square root, so 1/2 power. And then the entire thing to the fourth power. Since the entire thing is to the fourth power, that is the outermost function. So when we work out our derivative, we're going to start with the power rule on that power of 4. G prime of x, the derivative, will be, start with the power rule, bring the 4 down, leave the inside exactly as you see it. So I'm going to write the first version of the inside, as in keeping the radical. It just will look nicer. Subtract 1 from the power, it'll be a 3. But since the entire expression is raised, we have to take the derivative of the entire expression for the chain rule. It won't be just a 1, it'll be something much more than a 1. We're going to take the derivative of the inside. For that, I'm going to use this version of the inside. That's where I'll need that 1/2 power instead of the radical. The derivative of the inside will be the derivative of 3x, which will be a 3, and then the derivative of that 1/2 power. Well, that is, bring the power down, leave its inside alone, subtract 1 from that power, 1/2 minus, I will call it 2/2. And because the inside of that power is not just an x, but something bigger, an expression, we have to take the derivative of that inside. The derivative of 2x squared will be 4x. The derivative of 4 will be a 0, so we multiply by a 4x. So this problem was a double chain rule. It was a chain rule on the inside of the fourth power. That's all of this. And so we multiply by the derivative of that. And then also the inside of the 1/2 power. That's this. That was our second chain rule, and the derivative of that inside multiplying its derivative. Now we'll just want to take a couple of steps to rewrite and simplify the look of this. The 4, the 3x plus the square root of 2x squared plus 4, we'll leave all that alone. That's the 3 power. So within this next expression, we can simplify a little bit. So we will have 3 plus, I'm going to move the 4x to the front with the 1/2. 4x is in the numerator, so this will become 4x over 2. And then we have a 2x squared plus 4 to the 1 minus 2 negative 1 over 2. Now the 4 and the 2 here can cancel down since 4 is divisible by 2, leaving a 2 in the numerator with that x. So we have 4 times 3x plus the square root of 2x squared plus 4 cubed. We leave that exactly as we see it. And then 3 plus, now the negative exponent, I'm going to move to the denominator. There's a 2 that stays in the numerator. But that entire expression that is to the negative 1/2 power will become a positive 1/2 power when moved to the denominator. Now 1/2 power means first power and then square root, so maybe we'll take a step and write it that way. So we have 4 times 3x plus the square root of 2x squared plus 4 quantity cubed, and all of this times 3 plus 2 divided by the square root of 2x squared plus 4. So there's our derivative g prime of x. Our next step is to evaluate g prime of 0. G prime of 0 will be 4 times the quantity, 3 times 0, plus the square root of 2 times 0 squared plus 4, that entire thing cubed, times 3 plus 2 over the square root of 2 times 0 squared plus 4. So we have 4 times, 3 times 0 is a 0. So we will have a 0 plus the square root of 2 times 0 squared. 0 squared 0 times 2 is also a 0 plus a 4, so we'll just have the square root of 4. And then all that cubed. And then we have 3 plus 2 for the same reason, also over the square root of 4. 0 squared is 0 times 2 is 0 plus that 4. So we will have 4 times, square root of 4 is 2, add that 0, it's still 2, so we will have 4 times 2 cubed, and then multiply this with 3 plus 2 over 2, square root of 4 is a 2. So we have 4 times 2 cubed is 8, and then we will have a 3 plus 1. 4 times 8 is 32, and 3 plus 1 is a 4. And 32 times 4 comes out to 128.